Well, biodynamic is it's a method of farming that is includes organic farming, but there are other considerations as well. With biodynamics, your whole farm or your vineyard or your home garden or whatever is sort of a self-contained unit. It's a singular, holistic organism, if you will. And biodynamics was, as you mentioned, pioneered by a gentleman named Rudolf Steiner in the 1920s in Austria. He was a philosopher, farmer, and scientist who had some mystical views as well. He sort of felt like that plants could sort of harness the cosmic energy that's out there. And so a lot of biodynamics is centered around lunar and solar cycles. That can be seed germination, fertilization, watering, all those things that go into creating a farm product. Now, with grapes, grapes are very much a product of soil and sun and water, and so if you can create an environment that is holistic and healthy, you're going to end up with a better bottle of wine. And so that's why we try to work with those types of wines. Some of the tenets of biodynamics is number one, biodiversity. You're not going to use anything artificial in the system. There's no artificial fertilizers or sprays of any kind, herbicides, pesticides. You want cover crops that'll restore nitrogen to the soil. You want bees. You want good bugs, bad bugs, predators, and all that. You want animals on your farm too, because you're going to use manure and fertilizer that's all from your system. Well, a huge proponent of biodynamics is a guy named Randall Graham, who started a really successful wine company, and they became super huge, making something like 450,000 cases of wine a year. And he just sort of had an identity crisis one day and said, this is not what I want to be doing. I want to get back to my roots. And so he sold off all these big companies, and he's now quite a small winery. And so he farms completely organically. He believes in all that mystical stuff with crystalline. So Randall Graham is a huge proponent of biodynamics. He farms totally organically and biodynamically with his vineyards now. Another company is up in Napa, which is a Gergich Hills winery. Mike Gergich is Croatian. He came over many, many years ago. He's getting quite old now. But his company farmed completely organically, and there's a lot that goes into preparing a vineyard for that. There's specific things that you have to do and get certified, working around the lunar cycle with different kinds of compost and cover crops. So and then there's also quite a few producers in the Rhone Valley that are doing this, in Austria also, of course. This is a Malbec from Cahors in southern France, and it says right on the label that it's made with organic grapes, but that's just part of the story. Farming biodynamically, like we mentioned, is a big process and a holistic process. So, not just are these grapes organic, but they're fertilized with animals that live on the farm or in the vineyard, and they graze and they wander freely. A big part of biodynamics is that the animals must be treated with respect and fairly, and it's all free range and kindness. I would say that biodynamic wine is better for people in a bigger sense of not just allergies, but it's a commitment to the environment, and I think people that support biodynamic wines will be drinking a healthier product, and it's also good for Mother Earth.